Alright, let me feed the users here. Give them something to talk about. Alright. On a Sunday morning, they want me to put some content out on a Sunday morning, disturbing my beauty sleep. Hello viewers, me again, another beautiful day. Hope your five senses work. Health and strength is good or excellent. Alright, what do I got for you guys on a Sunday morning here? Let's see here. Got this little article here from eTechnics. It says here, new games struggle as Fortnite and live service titles dominate, says Analyst. It says here, according to Circana analyst Matt Piscatella, new games struggle because they are overshadowed by industry giants like Fortnite. He explained that many people in the gaming world accept the dominance of big live service games, but rarely consider them as the reason why the new titles fail to find an audience. Says here, Piscatella states that new game struggles IMO primarily because there's no air for them to breathe. The biggest competitor to any new game is Fortnite. He further elaborates, over 60% of new video game buyers in the US will buy a new video game once every 6 months or less frequently. Additionally, over 75% of gamers say that the most important factor in choosing a game is that it is free. The second most influential factor is that more than 65% of gamers say regular free updates encourage them to keep playing. The power of established game. To illustrate his point, Piscatella refers to data from Circana Players Engagement Tracker, which shows the top 2,000 most played games on PS5 in the US in December 2024. He notes that the ranking are similar on Xbox Series X and S and Steam. He used an analogy to clarify his argument. Your soda didn't flop. No, he said your soda didn't flop because the can was the wrong color or the ads weren't great. Your new soda flopped because Coke and Pepsi suffocate them. Finally, Piscatella points out that his audience, gaming enthusiasts and industry professional, does not represent the average consumer who has very different preference. All right, let me talk to y'all about this. When he says it's a new game struggles to find primarily because there's no room for them to breathe. And let's see here, what else is he talking about here? Alright, look. There is no such thing as one and done in video games. You know, in today's video game world, developers can't hide anymore. Social media exposed them. They can't hide anymore. They can't release a game and then put their hands in their pocket, and if the game didn't sell right, they can't give up on the game. Communication is big in video games. It's really big. So developers can't hide. So for today's games to survive and thrive, you're going to need DLCs and expansions to build them. Because let me use Multiverse for a minute. When Multiverse came out, right, they had a user base. So the game didn't start off on the game didn't have the big sales numbers that they were looking for, right? So the mistake the developers made was when they took the game offline. They took the game offline to try to go fix it, and then try to bring it back online now, and thinking that they were going to get the same results. What they should have done was keep the game online and keep that user base intact and stay in communication with the users, meaning that the users send them feedbacks about the game, and then the developers, they take the feedbacks and you take the feedbacks and use the feedbacks to build a game. That's what they should have done. Okay? You can't take, because like once you release a game, right, and you have a user base for it, In order to maintain that user base, you got to communicate with them, and you got to release DLCs and expansion for those games. Look at the Avengers. The Avengers with Crystal Dynamics. The movement of the game is fine, right? The combat system is fine. The way you customize your characters is fine. It could get a little bit more update. But the biggest problem with the game was your freedom of movement, meaning that you couldn't fly from the ground to the clouds with Iron Man. You couldn't fly around buildings. You couldn't like fly to the top of a building, land on top of it, fly off, jump off of it, fly around it, fly through it. All that content is missing. You couldn't like fly in the water, like fly to the clouds, land in the water, right? Fly over the water. All that content is missing. So Crystal Dynamics, they had a user base for the Avengers, and all they had to do was listen to their users and use the feedback that the users are giving them and turn those feedbacks into updates. That's all they had to do. They should have never ran from it. Okay? Look at Concord on PlayStation. That game should have been on the PS4 and PS5 because the PS4 and PS5 have a big user base. And what the developer should have done was listen to the players. The players are giving them feedbacks, and all the developers had to do was take those feedbacks, turn them into updates, and fix the game. They should have never ran from it. Okay? Look at what's another one I could say? Look at Anthem. Anthem is a big game. The movement of Anthem is fine, but where Anthem needs to be fixed is like, say, like flying to the clouds with in your suits, flying above over your base, stuff like that. That part of the game needed to be fixed, and that's all EA needed to fix, right? And then add some new stories and some new expansion to the game. And all they had to do was listen to the users, and use the users' feedback and turn those feedbacks into updates and fix the game. That's it. So look at Cyberpunk 2077. CD Projekt Red never ran from it. When the game came out, the game didn't perform right, but that didn't stop CD Projekt Red from fixing the game. What CD Projekt Red did was keep the game online, listen to their users, use the users' feedbacks that they were getting, turn those feedback into update, and they fixed the game. Look at Cyberpunk now. So in today's video game world, you need DLCs and expansion to fix games. There is no such thing as one and done in video games. That stuff don't exist. You have to have DLC and expansion to fix games. And communication is big in video games. Social media has exposed the video game industry. You can't hide anymore. Developers can't hide no more. So developers have to listen to the users. The users give the developers feedback. Instead of looking at the feedback as a negative, use that as a positive to fix the games, and then they'll get the success that they're looking for. One of the reasons why the game talks about Fortnite and Call of Duty. When Fortnite came out, it was big, and the same as PUBG. But with Fortnite, the developers, you know, they always come out with new expansions and new updates, and they were listening to the users. That's how the game got big. It's the same thing with Call of Duty Warzone. Call of Duty Warzone got big. Call of Duty was a big game. So what Activision did was split the game in two. They gave you a battle royale. They jumped on the battle royale train. That's one. But then they had the main game with the multiplayer and all that. But with Warzone now, it was all about communication and updates. The developers at Activision Blizzard, they were listening to the users, and they were turning those feedbacks into update, and that's how the game got big. They always had a new update here, a new update here, there, expansion here, expansion there, and that's how the games got big. So in today's gaming world, man, a developer, they have to listen to the users, you know. And so when there's an uproar about a game, a specific game, or any game, You know, the developers have to use that feedback that they're getting. Don't take it as a negative and then use that to fix the game that they just made. And that's what the developers of Concord should have done instead of running from it. And the same thing goes for Crystal Dynamics. So when it comes to games like DC Universe, they came out with DC Universe came out on the PlayStation 3 and PC. But from that time, when the PlayStation 3 came out, they always been updating the game with new stories and new expansions. They're always updating, and they're listening to the users, okay? Because they need that encouragement. They need that sort of encouragement to keep them going. That's why today's live service games are so successful. They come out with the base game, but they didn't just stop at the base game. They were listening to the users, and then they listening to the users, and then developers at WB, they took that feedback that they're getting, and they turned that feedback into updates and expansions. And look at DC Universe now. Look at Fortnite. Look at Call of Duty Warzone. You can run this way, that way. You can run in all directions, run backwards, everything. It's all about communication and listening in the video game industry if you want to survive. So that's how those games got big. That's why they got so big and so popular. You know, they had a big Call of Duty had a big user base already. But once you split the game in two now, and then you take that game and then split it in two, and then you have a battle royale beside it. Now I got a two-headed monster coming at you, and they capitalize on that. So that's why these games got so big, man. It was communication and listening, you know. And the same could go for, look at Bethesda with Starfield. It's all about communication and listening, and then turning those feedbacks into updates, and to grow the game, because the developers, they need that type of encouragement. That's why I told them. That's why I said in the video, to Bethesda, like, look, don't get into arguments with the players. Listen to what they're saying, and then use that to build a game. Look at Starfield now. So, yeah, that's what it's. That's how these games are getting so big. It's not that players don't want to play the game, and it's just they want to see, like, okay, what kind of character do these developers have? You know, are they gonna cut and run, or are they gonna stand and fight? Or are they gonna stand and fight and then try to fix the game by listening to the users? And that's what you need. So today's game, man, today's games, man, are all about DLCs and expansions, and you need DLCs and expansions to build games now. You know, so if a developer want to be successful, man, they got to communicate more. They got to communicate more, and they got to listen to their user base. If, let's say, a developer comes out with a game today, right now, and they have, like, say, 10,000 users, they're going to have to listen to those 10,000 users and whatever feedback that they're getting, you know. Well, on the positive side, take that feedback and turn it into updates, man, and it will help them along the way, man. So that's why these games got so big, like Fortnite, Call of Duty, Warzone, PUBG, what's another one? DC Universe. The reason why they got so big, man, because those developers, they listened. You know, they were always in communication with their users. You know, even when they release a DLC and it didn't come out the way it was supposed to come out, they were listening for the feedback that they were going to get from that DLC that they released. And like, okay, how do we fix this? And look at Fortnite now. So that's what it's going to take, man. In today's game, man. You know, there's no such thing as one and done in video games. You know, you got to sit there. You know, if you come out with a game and the game didn't perform so well, didn't perform the way, like when they come out the door, like, and it didn't perform the way it was supposed to, the developers now, they're gonna have to listen to the feedback that they're getting and say, okay, they got the ammo, they got the ammunition that they need now to fix the game. So that's what it's gonna take, man. The same thing goes for even the games that are free. Even the games that are free, the developers are those developers, they have to listen to the users, you know. and then see what the users are saying, and whatever feedback they're getting, turn that into updates, So yeah, you need DLCs, and expansions now to build games in today's gaming world, man. Fortnite got big because of communication, man. It wasn't just because players were just playing it. It was because of communication, and some streamers probably helped it too. Streamers along the way. Probably who can I think of? What's his face? Ninja. He was always talking to the users, so that helped the Fortnite user base get bigger. So yeah, communication is big in video games. So developers, if they want to survive this market, man, they're gonna have to listen to the users and see because the users are giving them feedbacks, giving positive feedback too, to help them build the game, not give up on it, fix it, and then progress from there. Yeah. So, yeah, man. I mean, look, when Call of Duty Warzone came out, man, the base game, all they had was what? What did they have on the map? They had the dam with the engine room. They had the high-rise downtown. They had the military base. They had the airport. They had the boneyard, but then they had the gas station. Then they had that little warehouse across the street from the gas station. But then they had the that underground bunker. and Warzone was fun then. But one thing Activision did was listen to their user base, man, and look at Warzone now. Yeah, communication, man. So yeah, it's not just that people don't want to play other games, man. It's that the developers that made that game, they listened, and then the game got so big now. It's like, yeah. So for developers to survive this crazy market, man, they're gonna need DLCs and expansion to build their games. When they come out with a base game, they can't just like, oh, that's it, that's the end of the game and that's it. No, the users will be communicating. That's for sure. That's why we got social media. So they're gonna have to listen to the users, man, and then follow up on the game with some updates, man. If Crystal Dynamics, if Crystal Dynamics would have listened to the users instead of running from the Avengers, if they think from the time the Avengers came out up until now, the game would be in better shape. It would have gotten the result that it was looking for. Just like how CD Projekt Red did with Cyberpunk. Yeah, the same goes for EA with Anthem. Yeah, communication, man, is very big, man. So that's why these games got so big. Communication and listening. Yep. Same thing with Concord. PlayStation got a big user base. All the developers had to do was put the game on the PS4 and PS5 and listen to their users and turn those feedbacks into updates. Instead of running from it, they would have gotten the result they was looking for. Anyway, I'm going to leave this video for y'all to enjoy, though. Nice talking to you people again. Chris, still a Star Wars and Star Trek thing. Borg, Dark Side. Go. Peace.